Hey, welcome back to Ed's Garage. I know this is not really a how-to video or a car review, but it's vehicle related. I am headed up to Mount Cheam trailhead, and it's pretty dark out already. It's currently 8:45 because the plan is to hike to the top of Mount Cheam. Mount Cheam is located in between Chilliwack and Hope, British Columbia. It's pretty popular, pretty famous mountain for climbing, for hiking rather. It's about a 3-kilometer hike, so it's not terribly long, and it's about a 600-meter elevation gain, so it's not terribly steep or high. It's tiresome at night if you've never, it's tiresome during the day in the heat if you've never done it before. This will be my second time going up, and the last time I went up, I remember it being absolutely exhausting, but it was about 34 degrees out Celsius. This time it's about 24 degrees, and it's about 10 years later, so at least it's supposed to be 24 degrees tomorrow. In any event, I'm going to try to get a little bit of video of the road up, as well as I don't know, maybe some stuff when I get up there. I'm going to sleep there overnight. I'm completely by myself, so this is going to be kind of interesting because it's in the middle of nowhere, so it's a little creepy. Yeah, see how it goes. All right, just hit dirt. I've been driving for about an hour on the Forest Service Road that heads up to Mount Cheam. Well, among other things, Mount Cheam. This is Folly Creek Service Road, so I'm going to drive this for a little ways and then going to flip on to Chipmunk Creek Forest Service Road, I believe. And then I believe the trail that actually goes up to Cheam is the Cheam Forest Service Road. So yeah, at some point I need to air down. I just blinded the hell out of that guy. Oops. Need to air down at some point, so that's my next stop, because this part of the road is actually really, really smooth, but the road leading up from this road up to Cheam is really rough, so I've got to lower down, probably go down to about 20 psi. Definitely go down to 20 psi. Yeah, next stop. Most of the road up is like this. Basically, it's, dirt road, a little bumpy with the odd cross stitch. It's not something you're doing with a sedan. The cross stitches kind of kill that possibility. But so far, it is doable with just a typical all-wheel drive SUV. Keeping an eye on your temperature, of course, because this is a lot of climbing on dirt. But yeah, so here you can see another cross stitch. It doesn't look like much on camera. It's about that one was about 2 feet deep, and then you got a little bit of a rock section here. Again, just bumpy. Now I'm in a 2007 Hummer H3 that is leveled on 35-inch tires, front and rear lockers. This thing's very, very capable. So this road is basically a highway for this truck. Yeah, so if you're up here in like a Tucson or Honda CR-V or something, it's totally doable so far. But if I remember correctly, there is one pretty gnarly section that's well ahead though. Alright, well, we're a couple kilometers from the top, or from the trailhead here, and aside from you know, about 50 odd culverts or cross ditches of varying degrees of difficulty and depth. I haven't found the gnarly spot yet, so it's possible that said gnarly spot is gone. I know that this road is fixed every now and then, so yeah, it's possible that it's just not here anymore, so that's good. Because yeah, we're about 2 kilometers now from the trailhead, about 2 kilometers from the Thurston Loop turnoff. So that's behind us, and yeah, as you can see here, this is a little bit of a larger cross ditch. Again, I think with a skilled driver, you know, the typical SUV, all-wheel drive SUV, would probably be able to handle this just fine. Just know that you might do a little scraping on your rock guard on the front, and maybe a little bit on the bottom of your rear bumper as you come down and start to climb back out of the culverts. So I keep calling them culverts, but they're basically cross ditches. Here's another one. There's quite a few. It just seems like it's over and over again. Found a pretty cool spot to camp. All right, I know you're not going to be able to see much, but I got my little fire pit going, and yeah, I still got to set up the truck here. But I'm on my chair. I'm wrapped in my sleeping bag because I forgot to bring anything other than 2 t-shirts. And yeah, it's probably down to 15 degrees right now, so it's quite cold. I got my beer, so cheers. And I'm gonna basically gulp this down in a hurry, sit by the fire here for a little bit, look at some shooting stars, because Perseids meteor shower is actually going on right now, so pretty cool. By the way, if you're wondering about this fire, this is a combination of soy and paraffin wax, and it's got some like briquettes in it, like compressed paper briquettes. It's a combination of seed pod planters, rolled up card paper, as well as some old egg carton. So that's how I'm able to have a fire, even though there is a fire ban. So as long as your fire is not more than 15 centimeters, which this isn't, it's quite small, as you can see, and as long as it's clean fuel, it's technically legal. So I have a nice bright fire around me here, so that'll help to stave off any bears or whatever. But I do have my bear spray with me just in case. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and crack this beer and enjoy it. It's about 10:30. Google thought I'd get here at 10 o'clock. Obviously the road's not as quick as Google's would like to think. I wish you could see what I was seeing. I got pretty clear sky, just a ton of stars. There is a little bit of smoke in the air, which is, as you'll see on the photos I'm sharing, unfortunately the smoke does kind of obscure a few things, but yeah, it makes it interesting. I got a little creek over to the side here, so I got a nice little bit of ambiance with this light, some nice sound to listen to. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this beer, and then I'm going to go to bed, and I'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. All right, well, it is a little after 7, and I think I just heard my first radio blip from Chris, the other person that's coming up. Well, he's coming up with a coworker. So gonna start slowly getting out of bed here. Had a pretty good night's sleep. I think I slept a solid 5 hours, which is enough for me. I also had maybe a little bit of drifting in and out here and there beyond that, so combined maybe 7 hours. I only had to get up in the middle of the night once, so that wasn't so bad. Standing out in the wind in just my boxers was interesting. But hell of a nice view from here. I'll show you out the back window. It's a little dirty, but that's what I'm looking out from the back there. But check this out. It's really pretty. There's a massive mountain right here as well. Oh, that's the one I'm looking at, right? Yeah, nice valley here. So, should be able to communicate with Chris fairly easily in a bit. As soon as he's within a almost, well, not a line of sight or anything, but because of this big valley here, you'll probably hear him a couple of kilometers away at least. So we're going to start slowly getting up and making some breakfast and cleaning up, and then we'll see Chris when he comes up. All right, it's a brisk 14 degrees out. It's not too bad though, because there's no wind like there was last night. Got the odd mosquito flying around, not too bad. But yeah, check out this gorgeous view here. Got just a lot of, I love these little purple flowers everywhere, but mountains are pretty awesome. So I had only about 3 vehicles pass so far. One at about 4:30 in the morning, one at about 5:30 in the morning, one just now, and then there's Chris and his coworker coming up in a white Jeep. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly have breakfast and then we'll head up. All right, we are on the trail, just started. So apparently this trail is 4.4 kilometers long and has an elevation gain of 679 meters. So it's pretty easy. Well, I say that now.
It's easy when you're on the flat part at the start.
It's easy when you just started, yep. Yeah, so this is what the start looks like. See you in a bit.
And do like a telescope viewing somewhere?
Get a nice clear night.
Yeah. And I think like late September is probably a good mixture of getting dark early but not cold yet.
All right, so we've made it to the meadow, Cheam Meadow, I guess. I guess that is Lady Peak right in front of us, because that's Cheam right there. So. All right, so we are about halfway. We've just done about 2.3 out of the 4.5 kilometers. The 2 people with me are Jill and Chris. Chris, lifelong friend of mine. Jill, just met today. New friend. But as you can see, it's actually quite stunning up here. We can see like Mount Baker up there. Up this direction is Lady Peak, and we basically need to go all the way up there. So, next update in a bit. All right, we are at an elevation of what? What was it?
1798?
1,798 meters.
1748, sorry.
1748. Cheam Peak is at 2,100 meters. We're about to be passed by some clearly faster hikers.
So, by some obvious hikers.
Yes.
Good morning.
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 Yeah, this is the little sort of valley kind of in between Cheam and Lady Peak. And behind us, there's a lookout that looks out over Jones Lake, or Hualich Lake. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm super tired. Chris is super tired. Jill is waiting for our slow asses. All right, as fun as this is holding the camera, it's using a lot of energy, which I don't have. All right, so that's where we came from. Most of the trail's over there.
We've got about, what did we figure, 200 meters left of elevation?
Oh, 150 now.
150, okay. So we're pretty close. Lots of bugs here. This trail is easy for anybody who hikes every week. Hard for anyone who doesn't hike, very much. But we're doing it. All right, we are coming up at the peak here. I actually feel a lot better now that I'm up here. So, first lookout is right over there. That's pretty awesome. But then, obviously not as awesome as the top. Look at this sheer drop here. Oh, there's some snow. Alright, so we're headed back down after my 30-second drone shot. Apparently I need a new battery. So it took us about 2 hours to get up, and presumably a little less than that on the way down. Now's when those poles would really come in handy. I'm good for the moment. I might take one from you later though.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're back at the bottom, heading home. So, yeah, great day. It turned out to be really nice and beautiful sunny weather, which is kind of cool because it came on pretty much when we were done. Just kind of on the last little stretch, the sun really started to come out. So, perfect timing. So, anyway, I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. If you thought this was interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and comment below if you've done it before. It took us so an hour and a half to get down. No, an hour and 20 minutes to get down, and 2 hours and a bit to get up. 2 hours 10 minutes. So round trip 3 hours. Call 3.5 hour round trip up and down. And that's for somebody who doesn't really hike very often. I do it maybe once every couple months, and generally not something that level of difficulty. Again, if you're an avid hiker, oh, my arm's getting tired. If you're an avid hiker, that wasn't really that difficult, but if you're like me, then it was pretty difficult. So I'm sure my legs are going to be burning tomorrow. Anyway, again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.